Welcome to day 6 of the 12 days of Claudemas. This is the project where we're vibe coding every day using Claude Code. And today being day 6 is video generation day. I'm Happy Dave. Let's get into it. Now, if we check out our progress, we'll see that video animation is day 6. And what we'll probably use for that is similar tools to what we used with image generator. We'll use either FAL.AI or KIE.AI to generate videos and see how it performs. So our simple flow up to now has been that we did the harness, then over 2 days we did the brains, both the primary brain and the secondary brain. After that, we got into the creative where we are at the moment. So we've done images, we've done voices, and now we're working on the video. So one of the things we did yesterday when we were on the text-to-speech was that we worked on coming up with a plan for a story. And the story came up with this narrative that you see right now. A quick brown fox discovers a lazy hound dozing beneath an old oak tree. And all of that planning we were doing came together in a document that we created yesterday in the planning folder called Fox and the Lazy Dog Story. So when I kicked off this conversation just before the video, I asked a question: what's our plan of action for doing a text-to-video sort of system and basing it off the plan of action we've got? And this is what it's come up with. It has understanding that we have a narration MP3 file, which we may use in the video, I'm not sure. We currently don't have any images generated, but we do have an image generation system. And at the moment, we don't have video capability. Now, it's saying here that we should be able to generate some images just based off the prompts we already have in the plan. And if we go over to the plan from yesterday, we can see that a variety of prompts were done for each part of the scene. So this was the beginning, the middle, and the end. Now, if we consider the fact that we do have some prompts and that we do have an image generator, we then need to think, is the image generator in such a position that we could use it with the video generation? And at the moment, I would suggest that it's not, because what we've got is this tool that we could use to generate images, but currently none of these images get saved anywhere. So while we're waiting for these images to generate right now, what I'm thinking we need is some sort of shortlist so that when we find an image we want, we should be able to click on it and say, you're part of a storyboard. So I think if we had the ability, say with this image, to click on it, add it to a storyboard, maybe label it as image number 1, we'd then be able to have a collection of images ready so that when we do get to the video integration, we'd have a list of images ready to go. So the way I've started is loaded in our product owner, and I've also asked for the product owner to wait for instructions. The instructions we're going to start off with is we're going to describe some changes that we want for day 4. And what I think I want to see is the ability to click on any of these images and just see a little storyline pop up between the headings and the generate all. Now, if we generate a new image, these should remain there, and that way we can just add more images as we like. We're essentially building up a shot list that we'll use for the video generation. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a picture of this entire screen, and then we're going to go down to the terminal and we're just going to paste it in as a starting image. And we'll start writing our prompt as, I would like to create a clickable link for each of the images that we generate. And if we click on one, it adds it to a shot list. Where that shot list should show up is as little icons horizontally just underneath the Generate All button and just above the headings FAL.AI and KIE.AI. So if I click on the second image should show up in the shot list. Now, if I generate more images and then pick a different image, that too should show up in the shot list. And the other thing is that if we go to another page, like day 6 where the videos are, that shot list is still available for us. So we'll just let that prompt go into the system and we'll add to the prompt and say, can you at least design a mock in ASCII format for me so that I can see what this could look like and how it could work? We'll just let that come through. What we have is a mock representation. And the way it's done it is it said, this is what it currently looks like. And this is it. We've got the prompt, we've got the Generate All button, we've got our 2 headings, and we've got the 4 images. It's then making a suggestion that afterwards we'll have this shot list We'll have the ability to remove some icons. We've got this hover here, and we can see we could either add or it's already added. And then it's even gone further and said, what could day 6, which is the video page, look like as well? It's then got a view of what this shot list could look like if we zoomed in. And afterwards, it's got the day 6, which is the video page that we want to generate, is that it's got the images that we just added to the shot list from the day 4 page. We've got the ability to select an image. We've got the ability to drop down how long the video should be and what model we should use. Then there's the generated video with a player to see it. And up until here, everything has been pretty much exactly what I want. The only thing that's a little bit wrong is in the workflow. And the problem is this one line. It's saying select a shot to generate a video. But what we'll really want to do is select 2 different shots, because what we're going to do is image-to-image video generation. So I've put in a prompt that affirms that everything it's talked about is correct, except for the one fact that we should be able to put in a starting image and we should be able to put in an ending image. Video is generated based on those 2 images. So we'll put that in, see what it comes up with. Now, a new ASCII design has come through, and this is now starting to make sense. We've still got our shot list on the day 6 video generator. We've got the start frame, we've got the end frame, we've got the duration, we've got the model, we've got the generate button, and then we've got the preview. We get to see the interaction flows. It's also given us a simpler idea. It hasn't stated which one it would select. And the other thing we haven't been too clear on right now is the idea of how the technology is going to work. The fact that we need a beginning frame, end frame sort of model to work with, or even how the APIs work. But most of the APIs were documented on day 4. Now, I think we will just do one big requirements document that makes both changes. So we'll come back here and we'll say, this is all looking really good. Can you make a requirements document for me, please, that will update page or day 4, which is the image generator based on what you said. We'll let that come through. Can you also make sure that the requirement deals with the day 6 visualization screens? We'll go with the simpler drag and drop into slots that you talked about. Can you make sure that you've investigated any models from either KIE.AI or FAL.AI that allow image-to-image video generation where we have a begin frame and an end frame? So we'll put that in. I might also just get it to ask one other question of me. Before you start, are there any other questions that you have of me before we finish this? I'd like it to be a one-shot requirement that allows us to build both the day 4 modifications and the new day 6 page. I'll press enter on that and just see if it comes up with any questions that I haven't thought of. So the first area it wants to talk about is shot list behavior. Can we persist it somewhere? Do we have capacity? It's given some ideas. And I've really given it a long statement saying we already have a client server arrangement. We should be able to save it into a folder in the assets directory. We can go with the shot list subfolder if we like. The good thing is, because we're using Socket.io, if we were to reload the application, they should automatically come into focus. I've given it no limits on the number of files that could go into the shot list. I think we should have a delete button so we can remove them anytime we want. Now, when it comes to this video generation, what I've decided to do is that we will just generate them into a video scenes, because what we've got is just one 5-second video. So we can see it starting to investigate with FAL.AI, and it's using the MCP server to do that. I noticed is that when I was looking for information on KIE, it did a web search, but we had set up a second brain. So I have told it just to try and use that. It's finished building the document, so it's going to be functional request number 10. Part 1 is going to be the shot list infrastructure. Part 2 will be any changes that we make to the day 4 user interface. Part 3 will be the day 6 video generation user interface. There's also a bunch of video API research. So what we're going to do is run a new Claude code. We'll use the progress command just to bring the conversation up to date. It's come up to date, and notice that it has a suggestion on what to do. So we'll press tab, and that's to start the day 6 video animation with FR10. It's reading both the requirements document and the planning documents. And now it's just going to work through this list of tasks, do a whole lot of research and development. We have finished all the coding, so it did it all in one long conversation, to the point that it's nearly run out of context. And there's a claim that the shot list infrastructure is included. We've got the day 4 UI modifications, and we've got the day 6 video generation. I've just come through and done a little test. I am aware that there is one problem at the very least, because we've got an issue with the shot list not saving correctly. We'll just put in a prompt, and this is one of the new prompts from the planning session. It's generated some images. When we hover over, we can add it to the shot list, which I assume is going to be here. Let's click on this one, see what happens. And that just added. This is great. Let's go down to VS Code. So we've got this little index.json file. We've got the image coming through here. What I think we'll do now is pick another prompt and we'll paste it in there. What we're hoping is that everything stays in place here. We'll get new images. We're getting new images coming in right now. I don't like any of them, so we'll generate a different one. And one of the things that we haven't really considered here is how are we going to do character and scene consistency. So whatever video we come up with is not as good as it could be if we had a proper working process, but we really are only demonstrating that we can get some sort of video generation going. So I think we will use this one. Let's click on it. We should get another image in the shot list, and I'm just currently testing the third image prompt, and the idea of this is that the fox is now running away and the images are kicking in right now, and I think we can try with that one. So the next step is to check what's going on with this video generator, and we want to see the items from the previous area, and it looks like we can just drag. Let's try the second one, and we've got 3 different models. 1 from KIE, 2 from FAL.AI. Let's go with this VO3 one. And we can see that these frames are terrible, like the trees on the left here, the trees on the right. There will be issues, but we'll put in a prompt that says, can the fox start running towards the dog and then finally jump over the dog? See what happens if we generate this transition. And we've got an error. Now we've had a bunch of changes. It was all done in one prompt. We've got an update on our server running here. So we'll go and have a look at what's going on in the system. Go to the images. We have lost the images that are here because we haven't done anything to persist them, but the shot list is still available. So we should be able to come back to the video area. We can just drag this one in and we can drag this one in again. And we'll see whether the second attempt works. Okay, we haven't got an error yet. We haven't had an error from the code not working. It's just a file size limit. Wonder what would happen if we picked a different model. So we don't have a key, and this time all I've done is made sure that the right key was being referenced. Something just appeared. Is this playable? Oh, look at that. This is very cool. And that's as far as it went. Okay, not as cool as I thought. I think what we'll do is just see if we can change the prompt a little bit. Now it's not a question, it's just an action. We'll run this one more time. The fox runs in a flash to the dog and then jumps over the dog. Let's see if this new animation prompt helps. And it's hardly any different really. But what we could do is just pick a different model. And while we're doing it, let's also pick 10 seconds. We'll run the generation. So we've got our 10-second video just coming through right now. Let's test it out, see what happens. And the dog disappeared. That's odd. And that's really weird, but it's an interesting video. It's not 10 seconds. I don't know why, but this is not a session in fixing all the different issues related to vibe coding. I guess what we've been able to do today with a few flaws is that we've got the image generation updated so that we've got this shot list sort of idea going on. Good thing is it persists, even though these images are not persisting, but we've never asked to have that capability. They are now available for us when we do the video generation. Say, run away and see what it creates for us. And while it's doing that, we can also see that there's a bunch of other issues down here, such as the numbering system. We've got the same numbers. I've never tried to download. Maybe it works. The other thing I noticed is that as soon as you create one, the other ones stop working. So if I hit play here, nothing. I hit play here, nothing. I think as soon as you start rendering something, anything else before disappears. But again, we've not given any purposeful instructions in our coding to deal with that sort of stuff. And this one is now coming through. What these two scenes will look like in a video. Here it is. Let's run away. Hey, that's perfect. Well, there we are. That's day 6 on the 12 days of Claudemas. And we do have the FlyGen application generating some little videos. There's a bunch of bugs there, I know that. But if you're interested in learning more about vibe coding or context engineering, then I do have a link to the school community down in the description. Otherwise, please like and subscribe. But let's just play this last video in full screen. And I think that is incredible. See you in the next video.